So Casey, we see you've been working hard with your physios. Can you tell us like what your hopes for the future are?
My goals with my body goals are to just be able to have a stronger core, because that's a really realistic goal for me.
Yep.
To be able to sit up and have a better posture, and to walk with CAFO braces, which I've got at the moment, braces that go from your hips to my feet.
Yep.
To walk with those. And at the moment there is no cure for spinal cord injuries, but hopefully in the future there might be one. So just to make my body as strong as possible, for if that was to ever be, a possibility.
Yeah. And since your accident, who and what has been your biggest support, and what advice can you give other people?
My biggest support has been my partner, for sure. I wouldn't have been able to do most things without him carrying me places, literally and physically. My parents moved down from Manchester the night of my accident and have stayed down here since. Left the jobs, left the home, and have rented since. So my parents and my partner have just been there every single step of the way. Mentally, my brother's been on the end of the phone whenever I've needed him. And my friends have been just absolutely amazing, to help just include me and to get me back out doing things like that. And very early on I met a guy called Spencer Watts, who works at Cyclomobility, and we went out on the bowheads, and he went back to motocross. So seeing him just living his normal life was really inspiring to me, to know that it can be done.
And so that just moves nicely on to kind of our final topic then, really, is what advice and support can you offer other people out there with spinal cord injuries or any other form of disability, and help people with their physical and mental well-being, and to help people get more active?
I'd say to reach out to people in the same situation as you, because as much as people can try and understand what I'm going through, like able-bodied people, they just wouldn't be able to. So reaching out to other people with your disability or whatever your situation is, reaching out to people that will understand is really, really helpful, because they know exactly how you feel and what you're going through. I'd say if you do have any offer of counselling, to take it, because that's been really helpful for me. I had counselling in the hospital, and since then through the Spinal Injuries Association charity, and that was from somebody who had a spinal injury, so that was really helpful. And just to accept help when you need it, and don't be too proud, because without help I wouldn't have been able to get to many places that I have done, like being carried into the sea. And I just feel like people will stare and they'll ask questions, and just to try and just embrace it, and just to do the thing anyway. Like at first I was a bit paranoid about people looking at me being carried places, but now I just think just go for it and just do the thing anyway.
And not to care about what people think.
People
living your life. And
and most of it's just from a place of curiosity. In the gym people look at me a lot, and probably just because they're wondering how I do things. And at first I was really anxious, but now I'll just open up a conversation or just crack on with my own thing, and everyone's really kind when you give them an opportunity to be normally.
So Casey, we are now on the trampers after you having a good old ride on your mountain bike. Is this the first time you've been on a tramper at Haldon Forest?
Yeah. I've been on them in other sites, but this is the first time here.
And how are you finding it?
Oh, it's amazing. Like the viewpoint from here is beautiful, and again, not really accessible, not easily accessible on a wheelchair.
No.
I'd love to come with other friends that have got a spinal injury, and it would just be a great way to do it. If there's, especially here, and there's more than one tramper, that we could do it together.
As we talked about earlier, we have got people have got like this misconception about kind of mobility scooters, and how mobility scooters are only used for like elderly people and stuff. And so it's really great to know that people like yourself is actually making use of the scheme as well.
I absolutely love it, and I did think at first when somebody mentioned a normal mobility scooter, I thought, oh, I'm not sure. but actually it's given me my life back in so many ways. So,
Yeah.
and it's nice to see other young people using them.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Fantastic.